Okay, I'll call the regular city council meeting of Monday, January 22nd, 2024 to order. Roll call please.
Scott.
Here.
Beauregard, Grounds. Here. Kramer, Zins.
Here. Everybody please stand to pledge allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation. Liberty and justice for all.
All right, next item up is the consent agenda. Everybody have a chance to go over this? If so, is there a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Councilor Graham, is there support? And support to it? Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Yes, and citizens forum. Tonight, if anybody wants to get up and talk, you know, step up to the podium, give your name and address, you have 5 minutes. Once the regular agenda starts, unless you're on the agenda, I'm not gonna have comments coming. Last meeting, that's where we had people talking from all corners, and it just got to be too difficult to hear everybody's thing. Anybody wishes to address the council, please do this now.
Dan Dudley, 214 Fairfax. I just wanted to make a public comment regarding correspondence 5.1 in the agenda packet. I'm standing here as a concerned member of the fire department. The January 3rd business meeting minutes in your packets and now available to the public were never approved by the membership, and they contain false information. I just want to bring this to the council's attention and put it in your hands where you want to move forward from.
The 5.1 White Lakes Fire Department minutes of 2024.
Yes.
It says minutes from the last meeting were read and approved, so the minutes from last meeting wouldn't be approved by the membership until,
Yeah, so the January minutes wouldn't be approved till February,
right.
which
So,
there's items in the.
aren't we putting the cart before the horse?
What do you mean?
Well, these were, so this says these minutes were approved by members.
Minutes from the last meeting were approved. So
Okay,
the December meeting minutes
right,
were read and approved.
right. So what I'm saying is, the membership hasn't, we got the meeting minutes from the January meeting. From the December.
You've always approved them in the same month.
Right,
But this is just the draft, this isn't the approved copy by the department.
Right, and I'm just letting you know that there's incorrect information in this.
you wanna share what you said, what's incorrect?
So on the first page, the meeting with the billing company. It states that we're losing 4,000 to 8,000 per run. That's per year.
That's for the year.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, the call numbers were wrong. We had 3 calls in December. On the second page, making it 32 calls for the year. Or 20, okay, that's right. It just missed the December bundle, okay. But then, under the ethics committee, it says that, Pete drew the names. It was actually Jordan Horonsky's daughter that drew the names out of a hat.
Who writes this up?
Jordan Horonsky, the secretary.
So for the, when you have your February meeting, did you get, did you guys correct these, have amended minutes for that meeting?
That's when Tony will ask if there's any corrections and then they'll be amended.
So.
Yeah, and just for, a point of information, or Mr. Mayor, that this is not, these are corrections that are made at the council level. But he certainly can make comments for the record, but we're not correcting the minutes here tonight.
Right.
They'll correct their own minutes and they'll approve them at the February meeting. Yeah, right. But I mean, if he wants to stand up here as part of public comment and note that, that's certainly his prerogative, and we'll notice comments for the record.
Well, that stuff's on the website, we just want people to see that's,
Yeah,
you know.
but we don't correct the minutes at this level.
Right, I just didn't want misinformation being out there. I mean, cause it looks, you know, says we're losing 4,000 to 8,000 per call.
Yeah.
Well, are we charging $10,000 for an ambulance ride?
And frankly, the better practice would be that if we're gonna have minutes before the council that are here for informational purposes, they should be the final approved minutes that are, that have been approved by that body. That would probably be a better practice.
Yeah. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Anybody else? All right, reports from staff, city administrator Lenny.
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Public utilities, Jake.
Yes, I'm in. We had 2 water main breaks over this weekend. So the first one was on the 300 block of Kent. We resolved that one on Sunday. Ran into some issues with the dirt pile as far as backfill, so we needed some time to get through that and get some dirt plowed out, so we had something to backfill it. The second one was on Fairfax, at the middle school. We got that one resolved today. So that's what happened, with water main breaks this weekend. Water plant, we had some maintenance issues come up. We lost a blower and our main water pump. Main water pump is what helps us power, our hydraulics for operating the water plant. So we have a backup pump we use. We kept that one on for about a month while we got the water pump repaired. That is repaired. We ended up finding bad wiring between, actual motor and the box. So we had Amtech come in and replace that too. So now it's up and running. As far as the blower is shot. We had to dispose of it. So we have a backup blower we put in there. So we'll be pricing up new backup, as it were. Then the wastewater plant's doing good. The repair to the secondary digester cover is holding good. So we got good methane storage there. Now we're just waiting on construction to get their gas piping done. 2 things we need running are the methane burner, and we need the piping restored so we can get the methane boiler going, but we're hoping to see that in spring. So that's all I got.
All right, I want to apologize to the Public Works and the Public Utilities Department. On Friday, I asked Kenny if we just had the one main break, and he said, "Oh, you jinxed, don't do that, you jinxed us." And then I see that we had 2 breaks over the weekend, so I'll take full responsibility for jinxing.
That's how it goes.
City Attorney Brumko.
Nothing from me there.
Counselor Graham.
Nothing tonight.
Counselor Scott.
Nothing to report.
I don't have anything either. Old business, 10.1 ordinance number XXX, the proposed changes to the 2024 fee schedule.
As discussed at the last meeting, included are the updated fees for the pickleball. Also as part of that, I was thinking that as you give 18 and unders free, that we should also allow active duty military members to skate and play pickleball at no cost. As long as they're home on leave, they should be able to utilize the arena at no cost to them.
Would somebody like to make a motion to approve with,
If it looks okay, we'll just post it for their approval for the
Okay.
next agenda.
it's okay, everybody in agreement on the. New business, 11-1 was the SEH, Prairie TV Bird Lake Trail contractor recommendation of award and bid tabulations.
Jason Chop, SEH, I am the engineer for Ranger ATV Snowmobile Club. As you guys are aware, city acts as a fiscal agent for the LCCMR funds that Ranger currently has. Last Thursday on the 18th, we opened bids for what we call the Bird Lake Trail segment. It's part of their overall Moose Trail improvements. There was 9 bidders, and their apparent low bidder is Joel and Sop Excavating out of Evelyn, at a number of $655,601. Reviewed the bids, everything is in order, and at this point, we see no reason why you should not award the project to Joel and Sop. Project will start probably on March 1st. This snowmobile club will be closing the trail along with the ski trail by the Forest Service, and will be completed by June 30th.
Good. Anybody want to make a motion to approve the bid by Joel and Scott? For the Ranger ATV Snowmobile Club?
If they're all comfortable with it, then I'll make a motion to approve.
Is there support? Motion made by Councilor Graham, supported by Councilor Scott. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Well, 11-2, citizens request regarding ordinance number 50.
My name is Amanda Werman. I live at 15 Kent here in town. This is my first public speaking, so I'm a little bit nervous. I'm here to propose a needed change to city ordinance 50.05, shut off for non-payment of water. The last change that was passed was on 9/13/2021 and doesn't represent the current financial times. I brought copies of the current ordinance if anyone wants to read what it is. I'm proposing that the policy be changed from 15 days to 25 or even 30 days and eliminate the hour, which is currently listed as 10 a.m. on the disconnect for the end of that business day. This is why. On January 5th, 2024, my residents received a water disconnect notice from the city of Great Lakes for non-payment. It stated that the amount due was $582.99, and that full payment would need to be made before January 16th, 2024 at 10 a.m. If you aren't a person or family struggling to pay your bills right now, consider yourself blessed. So after receiving it, I immediately called the city administrator to speak with her. I had just made a payment of $290 on January 3rd, half of what was due. My next payday is January 16th and January 29th. I planned on making the other half of my payment, bringing my bill completely current before the month was over. I usually get paid every other Monday at 3:30 p.m. unless Monday happens to be a holiday, like January 16th was Martin Luther King Jr. Day. In that case, I got paid Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. Christmas was extremely hard financially this year for myself as a single mother of 4 young kids. So she stated that it would need to be paid prior to 10 a.m. on January 16th or enter a payment plan. A payment plan would bring my current bill to 0 for January and avoid shut off, but it would get added to subsequent bills. I'm already struggling to figure out what to cut out of my budget to make up for the $30 increase that starts on next month's bill already. So there's no way that I could afford to add even more to that. During all this inflation, my income hasn't changed, but everything keeps going up. And I think I speak for a lot of families on that. I asked who I could talk to about her. She said the city council was above her and that I would be able to speak with them. I offered to bring her proof that I get paid later that day on the January 16th, but she declined. The next disconnect notice was dated January 2nd, 2024, but I didn't receive it in the mail until the afternoon of January 5th. I do have proof that that's the day that I received it. The next council meeting was that following Monday, January 8th, but the deadline to get on the agenda was the Wednesday prior to the meeting. So I was told it was too late to speak to the city council. The disconnect date of January 16th was set prior to the next meeting of January 22nd, which is tonight. On the notice, it states that I had 15 days to request the hearing, but disconnect was in less than 15 days from the day I received it. I attempted to plead with her that the payment plan wouldn't be needed because the plan was to have it all paid off in full by the end of the month anyway. She continued to say that I would need to either enter the payment plan or get disconnected. By the end of the call, I told her to go ahead and do what she wants because that's what she does anyway. So that night, I emailed the city council on Friday, January, I believe it was 5th. I got responses back from Deb Kramer, Stuart Beauregard, and Brennan Scott. I have copies of the emails that I'm willing to share with anyone that would like to see them. Another point that I want to make is the fact that the city utilities need to stay in the name of the owner. I guess it's a state law. In my case, the homeowner is my dad. He was kind enough to purchase a home for me to stay in as I get on my feet underneath me so I can better support myself and my kids. The utility bill is in his name, but it comes to my address. The moment Ms. Lammy entered the payment plan on the account, it was reported to his credit and it dropped at 20 points immediately. I do have proof showing that as well. The email was dated January 7th. Before any changes are made, should she have spoken with the actual name on the account? Hoyt Lakes is a population of 2,095, according to the censusreporter.org. Its median per capita income is $29,779, and median household income is $70,583. The percentage of people that are 60 years of age or older is 29%. I wasn't able to find the percent that lives off Social Security alone, but the average Social Security payment per month is $1,589.07. Our city administrator, as of January 1st, 2024, makes $112,200.14 annually, or $4,230 biweekly. Her biweekly salary is what a decent amount of residents make in almost 2 3/4 months. Yet we're paying her salary, and she isn't even a resident of the city she serves. I think it's safe to say that none of her decisions impact her unless it's to add to her own pocket. The water shut off and reconnect fee between November 1st and April 30th is $140 each time. Between May 1st and October 31st is $70 each time. The property taxes for the home I lived in increased $210.85 just for the city portion of Hoyt Lakes taxes from 2023 to 2024. A city administrator's annual salary shouldn't be much more than the median income of the city they serve. I was also curious, so I looked into a few other towns with a population of around 2,000 people to see what their city administrators' annual salaries are, as well as what their city water disconnect and reconnect are at. So at Silver Bay, city administrator annual salary is $98,072, and she's been there 14 plus years. Both fees for disconnect and reconnect is $25. Slayton, Minnesota, the annual salary is $92,301. The fees are $30 each time.
Kylie, you came before the council to discuss the general provisions for collection fees and costs. This has nothing to do with what you're saying right now, it has nothing to do with the content of what we're discussing, we're supposed to be discussing here. It's on the agenda.
Yeah, I'm bringing up some valid points for a reason why the policy should change.
And what does the city administrator's salary have to do with?
I also have Hinkley, it's $85,000 is the city administrator's annual salary. Their fee is $20, but turn on for non-payment is $75. I was able to get simple email from those towns to get that information. Now, because I've spoken up with just one example against our city administrator and how she is ruling our city with an iron fist and stretching policies to fit her agenda, I fear retaliation by her and those whom she has in her pocket. She may not break the law by doing it, but I wouldn't be surprised if she tried to stretch any and every policy to fit her crooked rule in her position of authority as city administrator. Becky, it shows you have a degree in philosophy, applied ethics.
Mr. Mayor, that's all in order.
I think so too, and I tried to address it.
I mean, it's, yeah, I mean, right, no, I'm just saying that the rules of order are, you can discuss policy issues, but making personal attacks on city councilors or employees of the city is not permitted.
So it's not making a personal attack, if you let me,
They are crossing the line of person.
because,
So if you wanna limit your comments to the policy issue, that's fine. But the mayor is right that you can't make personal insults on
okay,
our staff or on our city.
it wasn't a personal insult.
Well,
I have taken
I
some,
disagree. They are personal insults. I'm very familiar with Robert's Rules of Order. I've been a city attorney for 30 years. I was a mayor for 6 years. This is not permitted.
that's great, but
Mr.
you know
Mayor,
what I was gonna
I
say?
would urge
Would you like,
Jared to cut off the discussion.
This is I
She's
agree.
made her point, the council can discuss the policy issue of whether the policies and procedures should be changed, which is a city council decision.
Right.
So I did at the beginning of your talk, I did hear you talk about a couple things you wanted changed. I made
Right.
notes of those, that's something we can discuss as a council. Obviously, we cannot make any changes here tonight to any of the policy, but we can certainly discuss changes and put it on the agenda again if we need to discuss it. You talked about shutting the on-off fees, and we have changed those for 2024. Those have been lowered. For next year, those were already changed in our fee schedule.
okay, what are they to, because the last time I looked.
I believe it's $100 each, yes, so maybe at once.
Okay, online it is still reading $140.
Yeah, so for 24, those will all be updated. As soon as we get that, we'll have to mention that to whoever does our website, but we'll make sure we have the new fee schedule on it.
So do you feel that's a little bit high compared to the other towns?
We, arranged, we looked up other towns, what they charged around here, not Hinkley, not farther away, we did look up towns around here, Nora, Hiawatha, Evlith, Gilbert. And we came to that agreement that that was a comparable rate to the rest of the towns, so we did approve that already, so. But some of the other things you mentioned, we can take into consideration and talk about those.
We'll take consideration of your comments. And we can certainly discuss that for another meeting in the future. All right, moving on, 11.3, Bolton Bank Water Supplies, Water System Study, Jake.
Well, good evening, council. I want to say thank you for having me here today, and on behalf of Brian Gilman as well, who I'm working with. I'm a senior project manager with Bolton Bank on Duluth, and I'm here to present in your packets a discussion that's been kind of going on for the last year or so regarding the water treatment facility, and specifically conducting a water study that will provide you valuable information on planning, looking at the existing facility, having a conversation about what other sort of options are available as this facility was developed in 1950, and their goal is coming towards the end of its service life. So the study in front of you kind of provides the scope of services, which we were going to specifically look at reviewing what you currently have in place. So this is going to take a hard look at the current water treatment facility, our experts, and what they're going to summarize what the infrastructure is and what you're currently using. And then we're also then going to look at your historical usage from the city, so specifically what per capita you're using. And then we'll turn that into sort of some projections on what the city needs for water and tie that into your growth plan. So if you want to, if you expect your population to be at a certain level, a certain year, look 20 years out, kind of estimate what additional water usages you'll need. We'll also review your treatment facility, specifically the chemical additives, what's being done. And then look at your water storage systems and capacities as part of this water study. We'll look at the water quality and the treatment goals. and then develop a project schedule based off that. So all in all, what the water study is gonna provide you is a matrix of options between utilizing existing water facility and water supply, providing a option to look at other water supplies and possibly regionalization, which is a conversation with like the city of Aurora, where they have a current water treatment facility that's being built and upgraded and looking at is there an option there. You'll get costs for all the options so that you can kind of have direct comparison of what it takes to get the current water treatment facility up to spec and to sustain your growth in the next 20 years. Looking at another source, maybe a cleaner water source in the sense of requires less treatment, less mechanical effort to get it to the city, and also look at that regionalization. We're anticipating to provide that draft report or that core report. They're roughly $41,650. That is a not to exceed budget amount, so it takes us less. We do not charge you up to that $41,650. What we're anticipating is that we would, if we were approved for this project, we would have the site visits and data collection, which is meeting with your staff and Public Works by March of 2024. We'd be looking to submit the draft of the report in April with final delivery and a presentation May and June of 2024. So I don't know if you have any questions for me or.
Well, I think it's spelled out pretty good, just for the public's information. Jake brought this, during our, budget meetings. He requested, $50,000 budgeted to take a hard look at our water treatment facility. Everybody knows that we just got done with the wastewater treatment, and Aurora and the town of White right now are in the process of building a new water treatment facility. And we want to look at our facility and what it would cost for upgrades and to keep up. Because if we are going to have to economically join in with the city of Aurora, it's probably something that we're gonna need to really look at in the next year or so. They're going to be redoing County Road 110 through Main Street, Aurora, and if we're gonna run pipe from the city of White Lakes to that facility that Aurora and the town of White are building, it would be in our best interest if we have to do that, to do it before they put that road in, so. I miss anything, Jake, that you wanna add?
No, I just want us to have an educated guess on where we actually stand. Our plant is getting older and having chunks of concrete fall out of the ceiling and equipment's old, break it down too. I think it'd be smart to go forward with this.
I know a lot of people have asked me why the city didn't get involved with Aurora at the time in the town of White. And the biggest reason was because we had that $12 million project that by law we had to get done. So we didn't really have the resources or the grants available to us at that time. Hopefully if we approve this with Bolton and Mink, and they give us some more answers, we'll have a better educated decision to make at that time. And I think it will benefit all of us just to know where we're sitting going forward.
And if I may add as well, is part of this report too will provide some options on funding, so state funding, other sort of avenues at which you can alleviate some of the financial burden from the city to actually make those upgrades. So we will provide some comments and avenues on maybe how to proceed to use the best advantage of some of those funding sources that are publicly available.
Okay, thanks. All right, is there anybody want to make a motion to approve Bolton and Mink water supply study in the amount of 41,000 or not to exceed $41,650?
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Counselor Scott, is there support?
Support.
Supported by Counselor Graham. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Counselor Graham, is there support? Support by Counselor Scott. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.